A child can come home with a perfect report card and still feel completely lost the first time life doesn't go according to plan. That's the gap nobody talks about, the gap between being smart and being wise. Smart gets you the answer. Wise gets you through the situation when there is no clear answer. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah, and the good news is, wisdom isn't a personality trait some kids are born with. It's built, quietly, daily, in ordinary moments. Here are 10 of those moments, and how to use them. Some of these will take 10 seconds. Others will take a single sentence. None of them require a special parenting style, just a small shift in how you respond. Habit 1. Replace some of your instructions with questions. Instead of "put your shoes away," try "why do you think we keep shoes by the door?" It feels slower in the moment, but here's what's happening underneath. A child who's told what to do learns to follow. A child who's asked why learns to reason. The goal isn't to turn every request into a debate. It's to plant a few times a day the habit of asking, "What's the reasoning here?" Because that question is the seed of every good decision they'll ever make without you in the room. Try it at breakfast, at bedtime, even during a disagreement. The more often a child hears why, the more naturally they start asking it themselves. Habit 2. Give your child small decisions on purpose. What to wear, how to organize their shelf, which chore to do first. These choices feel tiny to us, but to a developing brain, every decision is a rep. It's the same part of the brain responsible for planning and judgment getting a little stronger each time. Kids who get practice deciding small things grow into people who don't freeze when big things need deciding. Start small. A choice between 2 snacks, 2 routes to walk, 2 books before bed. The size of the decision matters less than the repetition. Habit 3. When your child is upset, resist the urge to fix it first. Name it first. It looks like you're really disappointed right now. Not, "Don't be upset, it's not a big deal." Here's why this matters. A feeling that gets named loses some of its intensity almost immediately. That's not a parenting trick. That's how the brain processes emotion. Kids who grow up having their feelings named learn to do it for themselves. And a person who can say, "I'm anxious," instead of just being anxious, has an enormous advantage. In friendships, in school, and later, in every relationship and job they'll ever have. You don't need the perfect word. Frustrated, embarrassed, overwhelmed, even just upset works. What matters is that the feeling gets a name, instead of staying formless. Habit 4. 2 questions before lights out. What went well, and what would you do differently? This is reflection in its simplest form, and it's where experience turns into understanding. Without it, a day is just a day. With it, a day becomes a lesson. 2 minutes, every night. That's the entire cost. If your child says nothing went well, that's useful too. Gently dig a little deeper. Even noticing nothing went well is itself a kind of reflection. Habit 5. When your child is stuck, on homework, on a tricky friendship, on tying their shoes, give it 60 seconds before you step in. Psychologists call this desirable difficulty, and it sounds almost too simple to matter. A brain that's allowed to struggle a little within a safe range is a brain that's building problem-solving muscle. Step in too fast every time, and you're not protecting your child. You're quietly teaching them that struggle means someone else will handle this. Struggling isn't suffering. It's a rep. 60 seconds can feel long when you're watching your child struggle. Count it out if you have to. Most of the time, they get there on their own. Habit 6. When you want to teach a value, tell a story instead of stating a rule. Always be honest is easy to say and easy to forget. But a real story, even a small one, especially one about a time you got it wrong, sticks. Stories carry emotion, and emotion is what makes a lesson memorable. Kids don't just learn what's right from stories. They learn why it matters. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A story about forgetting your homework, losing a friend's toy, or getting caught in a small lie works just as well. Habit 7. Give your child a responsibility that actually matters to the household. Not a chore that exists just to teach a lesson, but something the family genuinely relies on. Setting the table before dinner. Walking the dog. Being in charge of watering the plants. Why does this matter for wisdom specifically? Because a child who only ever receives help, attention, solutions, learns to see themselves as someone things happen to. A child who contributes learns to see themselves as someone who makes things happen. That shift in identity is worth more than almost anything you can say. Let them see the impact too. If the plants wilt because watering was skipped or the table wasn't set, let that be visible, not punished, just real. Habit 8. Protect a little unscheduled, unstimulated time every day. No screen, no activity, nothing to entertain. It can feel like nothing is happening. But this is exactly where ideas get room to form, where a child gets to hear their own thoughts instead of someone else's. Constant stimulation doesn't just fill time. It can quietly crowd out the thinking that wisdom is actually made of. This can be 5 minutes in the car without a tablet, or 10 minutes before dinner with nothing scheduled. Boredom is not the enemy here. It's the starting point. Habit 9. When it's safe, let the natural result of a choice be the lesson, instead of a lecture from you. If your child rushes through getting ready and forgets something, let them feel the small inconvenience of that, rather than rescuing them every time. This isn't about being harsh. It's about recognizing that real life gives feedback constantly, and a child who's used to that feedback, rather than shielded from it, learns to read it, plan around it, and take responsibility for it. That's a skill no amount of warning can substitute for. This works best with low-stakes situations: a forgotten snack, a missed bus, a wet jacket left outside. Save the bigger lessons for moments with real safety margins. Habit 10, and maybe the most important one: children don't absorb the advice you give them. They absorb the behavior you model. How you handle stress, disagreement, and disappointment becomes the blueprint your child quietly copies, often without either of you noticing. You can't fake this one, but the upside is, every time you choose patience over reaction, you're not just managing the moment, you're teaching wisdom without saying a single word about it. Children are always watching, even when you think they're not paying attention. The version of you they see during a hard moment is the version they'll become.
10 daily habits to help them grow every single day for a wiser child.
10 habits. Ask why. Hand over small decisions. Name feelings before fixing them. Do a 2-question wind down. Let them sit with hard things. Teach through stories. Give them a real job. Protect some quiet time. Let reality teach when it's safe. And above all, be the example. None of these require more hours in your day. They just ask you to use the hours you already have a little differently. Your child's grades will fade from memory. The way they think, feel, and handle hard moments, that's what stays with them for life. If even one of these felt useful, hit that subscribe button. It really helps this channel grow. And tap the like button too. And tell me below, which habit are you starting with today? And if you want more of these in-the-moment scripts you can use today, let me know in the comments, and I'll make that video next.